Once the tinnitus sets in, then it's usually not long after that that the ringing in the ears becomes voices in the head.
Today we're going to talk about mental health. The World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Good mental health is a lot more than not being sick.
Lookoutfa Charlie.
This is not normal.
So I opened my email for the first time in like a week today, and I found an email from YouTube, and they were telling me that we reviewed your content, determined that it may not be suitable for viewers under the age of 18 per our community guidelines, and as a result, we've age restricted the following content. And the video is subliminals in a country song about some event from 2001. It's very strange because the only thing that alludes to anything that may not be for kids is the thumbnail. The entire video is about a country song. Not only that, but when the video was processing, it found a copyright because that clip of the country song in it. And then they said, well, they're going to allow the content to be shown, but they're just going to put advertisements on it. And I was like, that's cool if you want to advertise for your own demise. They didn't do that. Instead, they age restricted it. However, none of my videos are made for kids anyway. My content is 18 plus or whatever it is anyway. So there really is no point in age restricting this video except for keeping people who are not logged in from viewing it. So someone who isn't logged into YouTube is not going to see it. So there's a reason why they went after this video in particular. So the video is right here, and you can see the thumbnail, and it's the Twin Towers, because that's what the song is about. That's why I used the Twin Towers. So that's the only thing that is of adult nature, if it even really is of adult nature, as far as YouTube standards go. If we go through the video itself, it's nothing. Some WAV files on a program is not very adult. None of this is very adult. Are the subliminals too adult? Because the subliminals that they're getting when they listen to music are there too. Which brings me to this. A lot of people have been saying, hey, do you think there are subliminals in this band or that band or whatever? It doesn't matter who the band is. I'm telling you this, if this was replicated, if the music was replicated in a factory and was mastered by a system like Nimbus, which it all is, it's a redundancy master because you've already done mastering yourself before you even give the music to the plant, the master disc. When you turn that in, you've already mastered it, so there is no point in having additional mastering done. They do this. Once that is done, there are subliminals beat matched to that music. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be gospel music, or it can be gangsta rap, or it can be anything in between. It doesn't matter. If it was done in a factory and it's mass replicated, it has it. Even my music had it. And there's a video about that, and you can check it out. I'll put the link to it below. If it has been mass replicated, it has this stuff in it, period. But for some reason, somebody wanted this gone and they couldn't get it gone, so they age restricted this video. And there's nothing that cries for age restriction in it at all. In other news, I set up a new recording area in my house, like a mini studio, through the help of some ferrite magnets and grounding some stuff. I was able to use some of my cardioid mics without the buzz and the interference that I was having before. It's a lot better. Before, I could only find one microphone that could record and not get a lot of interference. However, that mic did not record voices well, and there was a lot of high end in it, and it took a lot of post-production to make it even sound audible. So I'll be able to do this stuff quicker and get it out. Now, I was going over the web recently, and I found that they are still talking about the ATF and how the ATF is creating these laws out of the blue. What they're doing now is they're going after pistol braces. And if you don't know what a pistol brace is, it's basically a brace for a disabled person. You can actually see it there in this thumbnail. And it wraps around the handicapped person's arm, and it helps disabled people be allowed to hold certain weapons. Well, they're coming after these, and it uses a point system. And it basically converts any weapon that you have that uses a pistol brace into a short-barreled rifle, an SBR, which they want you to pay for a tax stamp and register. Here's why I'm bringing this up. The only reason why I'm bringing this up in my videos is because these people are not paying attention to legal terms. And people out there, especially these Second Amendment people, really need to pay attention to definitions and words. Really look at the word and what they're telling you. So what they're doing is they're allowing these people who own these guns an amnesty period. They've never been illegal. You know, so people have been buying them. Some people say there's, 10 million. Some people say there's 40 million of them out there. There's a lot of these pistol braces out there. So they're allowing this amnesty period where if you photograph your weapon and send the money or do whatever, they'll determine whether you can keep it or not. And otherwise, they're going to show up to your house and take it, or you have to destroy it or whatever, right? Another thing you can do is just remove the pistol brace. It's really messed up. But these people really need to pay attention to what amnesty means. The definition of amnesty is an official pardon for people who have been convicted of political offenses, or to grant an official pardon to. So amnesty implies that you committed a crime already, and these weapons were purchased completely legally. So do not fall into this trap where they say, we're giving you an amnesty period, because amnesty means that you have already committed a crime when you bought the weapon legally. And I just want to bring this up to people and get them aware that they need to get into these legal definitions. Just like I talked about space before. And you have NASA saying that we are taking over space. The definition of space can be total, full spectrum dominance of the space that you live in, not outer space. You don't know what they're talking about half the time. That's my point. So pay attention to wording and legal definitions. Now, after one of my recent videos, people were talking about, the fake alien invasion possibly coming, using blue beam weapons, using audio weapons, and using directed energy weapons at the exact same time as one weapon. I believe something like that to be totally possible. Today, you could actually do the return of Christ. You could do all kinds of different things with these weapons. But I do want to say that there is going to come a point where people are hearing this in mass. There are going to be large groups of people hearing these voices. It's going to happen, period. It has already happened, and a lot of people don't know this. There were 50 gay men in Palm Springs. 50 of them, who all heard the voice of somebody named Lisa, a girl named Lisa. 50 men in Palm Springs were all hearing the same voice of a girl named Lisa for a long time. They could still be hearing it, for all I know. So this has already happened. It was a test, and it's going to happen further. And it could be God, dead loved ones, angels, whatever. The possibilities are limitless. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a fake alien invasion. And they could tell people crazy things. And that's the way it'll go down. In fact, I already showed you this with Lord Voldemort. But let me do a modern version of this. A more realistic version of this, where it isn't Lord Voldemort. Let's check it out.
Kill them all! 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 Kill them all!
So it could be any one of these types of crazy things that happens to people, and they'll have no idea where it's coming from. And when it gets religious, now that's when it's going to get nuts. They could pull a whole psyop on the entire born again or Christian community, and would they know the difference? I don't know. So how about something like this?
They should be convicted, they should be sentenced with death, they should be lined up against the wall and shot in the back of the head. That's what God teaches. Shot in the back of the head. That's what God teaches. Shot in the back of the head. That's what God teaches. Shot in the back of the head. That's what God teaches. Shot in the back of the head.
You know, the possibilities are endless, and they could even convince half of these dumbasses out there that the people that aren't hearing the voice are the bad ones. Think about that one. So you get masses of people that are all experiencing the same voice of God weapon, and they're told that people who aren't experiencing it need to be killed or something like that. They could go crazy with this shit.
Only you, the special humans, can receive our message. We have traveled light years to bring our message to you from the Ashtar Command. But we also bring a warning. Those humans who cannot hear our message will ultimately destroy your planet and your world. You must save mankind before it is too late. Rid yourself of this unevolved cancer before it destroys you. You must be swift. You must be effective. Burn the bodies.
And it will all go down with thunderous applause. And when you have subliminal weapons that are operating as well, every day, convincing and twisting the opinions and the reactions of human beings out there, it is very, very dangerous. And that's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
Come on! Go on, do it!
Come on, do Nazi stuff.
Yeah, why won't he do the Nazi stuff?
Look out for Charlie.